Hon, did you see? He did it.
Everyday wins.
Birds and the Clarence Goldsboro.
Lottery.com.
Welcome back to the podcast. And we're dropping Locker Room Live on some of you newbies for the first time. You veterans know that's where the Michael Birds and the Clarence Goldsboros, the Big Tonys, you know, these guys have, and gals who have been loyal, they also know what they're talking about. G from the shop, 757 Toothpick, the latest batch of these gladiators. And then there's Sabah. And Sabah, love the passion, love your commitment to the burgundy and gold. Now let's get right down into it. Because you don't seem like you're real happy here lately with the way. Now, we know your love, and I'm not mad at you for having guys that you particularly think should be the cover boy of this program.
We'll give it a chance.
Yeah, no, it's different now. They give you a chance when they give you a uniform, Sabah.
Okay.
That's your chance.
Yeah.
Your chance is not starting. Your chance is a uniform, and you get to go out and practice.
I got that.
Okay, let's get that straight. Last year, I agree with you. Fitz came in. I don't think they allowed Heineke to compete for the job.
No, absolutely.
They gave that away. Mm-hmm. This year, now you know the deal. $28 million?
Pay the best players, not the high cost player. Play the best players. There should be a competition. And he should not show up with some C on his chest. That's what I'm tired of, dog. We finally have a guy who wants to be here, who does not come with any status given to him, like our RG3s and the Jeff Georges of the world and the Dwayne Haskins, you know, that I'm the guy without having earned anything. And we finally got a guy who says, I don't know what I am yet. I'm not a finished product yet. I just want to be the best player I can be so I can be in this league. We got a guy like that who the teammates like and the locker room likes. And then he has circumstances, right? Circumstances. The COVID hit us hard. That Philly game, running around robin. He couldn't even play that game. Then he got 4 days rest after coming off of COVID, and he said he was pretty sick. Bad flu-like symptoms, got killed against Dallas, and still threw an most amazing touchdown pass after getting clobbered and got out of there and threw an amazing touchdown pass. And then, you know, still had to go and could have beaten Philly the second time if this third-string tight end didn't fall down, and we would have been in the playoffs then. And after all that, in the defense, all the number one draft picks, horrible. And when our generational talent guy left, we actually got better. After all that, we don't want to give him any credit, no chance to compete against a guy that got kicked out of town twice. And we gave up $28 million to get him and draft picks. Tell me what's wrong with that picture.
It's done. The deal is done. Well,
I don't like
it may be wrong to you, but reality of it is that you can go out and get people who don't have a horse in this race. And they're going to say, do you think you can go to the playoffs and win a playoff game with Heineke as your quarterback?
Yes, we almost did it when he came in from his couch studying for finals. We almost beat Tampa. And for people to say we didn't almost beat him, we did almost beat him. We did not get killed.
You didn't almost beat him.
And we did beat him the next year.
You didn't almost beat him.
And if without
you were competitive, Sabah. You were competitive.
No, but
they couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback. They blocked you man up. They ran the ball down your throat. They almost had 500 yards of total offense. That's a myth.
Heineke play defense.
No, he doesn't. And I like him. But I think if you stop there, then you it's just unrealistic. Because if he's all that, and maybe he does deserve the right to develop and be coached up.
That's all I'm asking.
You can't make him taller. You can't make him throw through over people better.
Right.
That is what it is.
Right. Just
to
like
do what he's done with his arm strength is a miracle to me. And he's been able to do that. But I think if you look at this realistically and go, you see Carson Wentz, where we are right now with this franchise and the development of the Cowboys and how they draft, they get people, they're just better at it than we are. They're getting better results. We're not arguing over their number one pick. No, he was Defensive Player of the Year. We're not talking about his potential. We're talking about their guys' results.
Right.
All I'm saying is that we got to get more production out of our people in order to have a public fight about whether or not they should play. That's just my opinion.
Well, here's what I don't understand. I know you played the game and you're a Super Bowl champion, and that's part of the reason why I love you, okay? And I'm a big fan of yours. So I don't understand on the inside what goes on through coaches' minds. So we have a guy who they did not want to be the starting quarterback because he came in second quarter.
Right.
He replaced a guy whose longest play was 67 yards because of a running back who ran the ball. He was like 3 for whatever for 9 yards. Okay.
Gotcha.
So he goes in there, gets them the lead, and then our running back, who everybody loves, fumbled it away. Okay. So we got the toughest schedule. This guy that you said wasn't a number one quarterback, he beats Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Derek Carr, and Russell Wilson, all getting about $200 million contracts. He beat those guys with a horrible defense, so the defense did play better in those games, not Atlanta. But he had a kicker. He had 4 kickers. Have you ever seen a guy have kicked 3 kicks blocked in one game?
Oh, no. The kid plays, but look, I'm not against him. I'm just telling you saw that kid in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
If that cornerback had hands, he'd be a receiver.
Right.
Okay, that's a pick six game over.
Okay,
that can happen on both sides. And we've also made a play. No, I don't want to beat him up.
Right.
I'm just telling you that if that's the best we can do, then it's just not going to work.
But it's not the best we can do. That's my point. My point is now we have the easiest schedule. Easy schedule. We don't have any of the quarterbacks that we faced last year. We faced except for Aaron Rodgers. None of them are the same. Well, Ryan is with Colts, so we're going to face him again. Okay, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Easy schedule.
It's hypothetical. That's garbage. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
But the quarterback.
You don't know who's going to be a breakthrough. Nobody knew Parsons was going to be what he was. All that off-season stretch talk radio garbage. What if? What do you think? That's crap. We know what we have.
Right.
We don't have a professional long-term vertical passing game.
But we don't know that yet, Doc.
We didn't have it. Sabah, we didn't have it. Our receiver's great because he is a contortionist.
Right.
He's doing things. He's tying his body like a pretzel and making plays because he can't go. The ball's never out there for them to go get.
Well,
Have you seen
Devontae Adams? All his contortion catches from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Yeah, but he catches a lot of them on the go, too. You can't put Heineke and Rodgers in the same sentence.
Here's my point.
You can't do that.
Here's my point to you. Okay. Is why not save that $28 million? We got an easiest schedule now. We drafted Howell, see what he does in the development, save the $28 million, get more people, particularly on defense, around Heineke. We're going to have, hopefully, Logan Thomas healthy. We got McKissick. Maybe Samuels can actually play some. And let's see what happens. He should be able to win 10 games easily. That's why I say Wentz should win 13, or it's a failure if he's that much better, 14 times better, because 14 times 2 is $28 million.
Yeah, I'll give you that. We ought to be better. We ought to have 10 wins,
right?
Or all of them should be horsewhipped.
Right.
I mean, we got to win 10 or 11 games. That, to me, is the break-even part.
But they're already blaming everybody else.
Yeah, and we got a guy, and he should be on your team. We lost Fitzpatrick in a quarter.
Yes.
Wentz could get hurt in pregame
warm-up.
We don't know.
There's no guarantee Wentz is going 17 games this year.
We don't know any of this.
So then
Heineke will have a chance to compete. Right. But we have to be realistic and look at this and go, with your back fumbling the way that kid, they want to play every play fumble, there's too many people underproducing. Yeah. We need we got to change what's going on. I think the offense is limited, which Coach Turner is limited based on what he knows he can get out of his quarterbacks and what he knows he can't.
Why doesn't he adjust the game plan to his quarterback? He should have done more design runs last year.
Now that I will give you that. You and I agree with.
You can't just do my system. Joe Gibbs changed things for Joe Theismann, did he not?
Yeah, but you ain't running in this league consistently. And I think I love Heineke's athleticism. I don't want to beat him up because I don't want him to play. I'm just saying, if you start the season off and that's the best you can do in that, I don't think you have a chance to be competitive against really good football teams.
And what chance
we make too many mistakes.
Okay, what chance do we have to be competitive with a guy who, by all accounts, from what I've seen post-injury, is mentally weak? Because 90% of the game is mental. We had Jamarcus Russell and we had Ryan Leak that were tall and big armed. And what did they do? Nothing. They got their money and went home.
You're right. I
This
can't
is
argue
what
that.
I'm afraid of.
Carson has got to prove that he's got strength from the neck up. He got a gun. He got all that. But can he mentally, is he stable enough to be a leader? That's one thing he cannot beat Heineke out at right now, and that is leadership.
Right.
It's like the San Francisco deal. If you look at Garoppolo, they love him. He's won that locker room. Heineke has won our locker room.
Right.
People are willing to go to war with him. It ain't on the team. The coaches are telling you, even at his best, we don't think we can maximize our potential. That's what they're telling you.
Well, then they're failing.
He can prove them wrong. He
Right.
can prove them wrong, go out and make plays. Everybody can play their butt off, and maybe that it works. But to go into the game like that, now they had to go out and make a move. Why? Because they telegraphed it. They're at the Super Bowl, beating their chest like Tarzan. We're going to get a guy. We're going to do that. Well, guess what? Nobody wanted to come here. So you had to go to plan B and C. And you overpaid. You got hosed on that one.
This is what I don't get.
It can't work.
Right. Okay, well, Belichick, let's go back to when Brady came in for Bledsoe, okay? Yeah. Everybody thought Brady's some 6th-round draft pick. What the heck? Bledsoe got healthy. Everybody said, you're going to put Bledsoe back in. He's #1 draft pick. He's your guy. He's your franchise guy. Belichick had the guts to say, I'm going to go against what everybody else thinks I should do, knowing that if it fails, I'm a failure. Because if he went with Bledsoe and it failed, it's Bledsoe's fault. If he goes with Brady and fails, it's Belichick's fault. So now we go to Brady, and Brady's winning, and everybody, it's because of the team around him. And he's Garoppolo. He's just along for the ride, right? Along for the ride. It took him, 5 Super Bowl wins for everybody to even think maybe he might be one of the greatest? It was always Rodgers. Now it's Mahomes. Then it's going to be Lamar. Then it's going to be Allen. There's always somebody else better than Brady. Now he's got 7 rings, and it's still, they're always looking for somebody else better because they all want to confirm what they thought to begin with. He doesn't have the great arm strength. He doesn't have the measurables. He's not a #1 draft pick. And just like Seattle, they could have said, we paid Matt Flynn all this money. We have to start him. But then they got a 3rd-round draft pick in Russell Wilson. What did they do? They had the guts. They had the guts to say, I'm going to play the guy that I think is best and the people that is mentally tough. And so they went with Wilson. You don't think for a second if Kirk Cousins was over there in Seattle that he would be all that now? He might be more like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson would be the guy who took over RG3's spot, who's hated by the fan base, who the owner didn't want to pay, and now stuck in Minnesota. It's circumstances, and the coach has to make the right decision. Life's all about choices, okay? And when you make a choice, there's a fork in the road. A lot of times, there ain't no exit. Okay, you're on that road, and there's no turning back, and there's no way to go. And that's what I'm afraid. We've made bad choices as a franchise. We went in all in for week 1, 2013. We should have started Kirk Cousins, not RG3. We should have drafted somebody like Herbert, which is what I suggest on the radio, Herbert and Okudah. I said, go down and get Herbert and Okudah. Don't do Chase Young. But no, we had to go with Dwayne Haskins. These are important forks in the road. We got rid of the guy for the went to Tampa.
We'd have to do a 3-hour special.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If we were going to talk about all the things we've effed up.
That's my point, Doc.
We lead and so I get what you're saying, and I'm not opposed to it. All I'm saying, personally, if I'm Ron Rivera and this group hanging on this thread, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have gone with a guy that gives me a vertical opportunity with his arm to get the ball down the field to my receivers. If I die, I'm going to die with that. I'm not going to look at and go, hope. Now, can Heineke prove it all wrong? Yeah. If he gets nicked, can he go in and never give it up? He's still got a chance to do that. They didn't cut him. They just are giving the guy to start over him as they did last year. And they would probably do it. And that's what they're telling you. They're telling you and I. They're not going to make him first team. He's going to, but he can overcome it. He can overcome it.
Okay, can I tell you quickly? I know y'all don't want me to talk too much about him, but look at his long passes he's made last year. Atlanta, that long pass to Terry, he should have gotten killed on that play. The tight end missed the block, and he had a hoodoo.
Look, Drew Brees, everybody has those kind of things. But Heineke has them.
Point those out for him.
No, but we've seen it. But we've also seen we can't make his arm stronger by our conversation.
I like the mind over the arm.
No, he got all that. I ain't mad at it, but it's a fact. There's a fact. If right now, I'll tell you what, not the same comparison. Baker Mayfield right now, nobody wants him. Why? He's won more than one. Well, it's also, but it's the flame. He is not in this league now. If you watch Herbert, if you watch that the kid in Kansas City, the kid in Cincinnati, our guy has nothing in common with them. It's like pitching. Either you hitting 101 on the gun or you're not. Now, if you're throwing 91, you better have great movement. You better have a whole bunch of other things. It's nothing wrong with it, but he had a sample size. And his team did not get it done when it needed to. It's not his fault, but he's going to take the blame for it because that's what happens when you're not a high draft pick in this league. League ain't going to make itself look bad. He's got to overcome that. But
Belichick didn't do that with Brady. We
got nothing in common with Belichick. We shouldn't even throw Belichick's name up when it comes to anything in relationship to what's happened here in football. To me, it's just not fair to either side. Everybody here is under examination. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a crap or get off the pot campaign.
Well, is Wentz going to be captain?
I would have reached out. I would have done something, not at that money. I would have waited till Friday till they cut him, and then we'd have worked it out.
Absolutely.
But he wouldn't have chosen you.
Exactly.
Nobody chooses you. Nobody would have chosen you. So that's my point. So they had to do what they had to do. Now they got to make sure it works.
Isn't that sad? You have to pay for somebody to love you?
No, it's life.
It's pretty sad.
And come on, Sabah, you know that's life. There are a whole bunch of guys that look like Donald Duck that are walking around with tens, okay? Because you know what it's all about. Look, go save a life. We appreciate that. I'm happy that the inaugural spot right here on Locker Room Live.
Can I come on later? What's your prediction for Wentz? How many wins?
I want to see him in training camp. He's got to do it. This is his last shot at QB1 anywhere in the league. This is it. He's a backup for the rest of his career unless he proves he's mentally strong enough to lead this team to victory and to make all those people in his past seem like they lied. Or maybe he just developed. And if it don't work, maybe Heineke gets a shot and he makes it go. I can tell you what, I just want him to be open. Let's go see what happens because any one of them may have to play. All right?
Exactly. Okay.
Don,
thank you for having me.
Nothing but love for you.
You too, buddy. Thanks, Solly.
All right,
that's
Sabah, good to see you.
Tell Sheehan to top this.
Hey, can I have you say hey to my dog real quick?
Oh, the little doggy.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I put his Redskin outfit on.
There he is.
He comes to work every day with us.
Well, I tell you what, that's what privilege looks like. That's what privilege looks like.
Oh, the patience.
Well, you know, as Coach Thompson said, we don't do any overtime. We are out of here.
If you love scratchers from the Virginia Lottery,